Okay,
Yes, he's
perfect.
recording.
Perfect. Okay. So, like I was saying, since if we were gonna keep going up, you remember we have to break highs. When we see higher highs, and that means we're going in that uptrend. When we see higher lows, we're going in this uptrend. So that's why I drew this zone right here from the wick of this high point across, because now this is the last high that we made. So now I want to see us break this high, come back to retest, because anything that's broken is retested before it continues up. So as you can see, as we replay this, it pretty much like retested it. It was still higher than this. So even when I saw this being higher than this, that still just showed me that we were going into an uptrend still. So the fact that it came back to retest it right here, that was another valid entry to get up, to get in here and take it up. So then, as you can see, we continue. It actually came back again to this trend line right here for another retest. And this is on the 30-minute. And then eventually it pushed up. It came back to this area right here. It was more clearer on the 15-minute. It broke here, retested right there. And then it pushed all the way up to TP2. So then that was a total of 126 pence, 26 pips, which is amazing. I love catching the currencies. If you're able to get 100 pips and above, that is amazing. So that was with GU. Does that make sense to everybody? And what happened with that one? Okay. Here's just a clearer version of that. This is with that same zone that I had, that break in that retest, and then it continued up back to these highs right here. So I had a zone right here where these highs previously stopped. So that's exactly what happened. It came up to that point. You can see it pretty much shot up. I'm sure there was some type of resistance. And it hit TP2 for it to pull right back down. So the next one that I had sent after that, um, I can't really tell because this was on my phone. Oh, G was looking for a sell or a buy, and I think it ended up selling. Okay, let me take this off right here. Take it to where it's currently at. Okay, so this next one too, I think this is when I was looking for either buys or a sell. So I'm going to share, this is what I put in the Discord. So this was after this played out to TP2. So I was either looking for a pullback for a continual buy, or I posted these two where I said if we break structure. So I had a line at this small level of support. So I said if we broke through that again to retest as resistance, we can take it down for a sale. And then I had the other side in hand as well, because you always want to make sure that you do have both sides. I think I deleted that trend line. Yeah, I think I did. I did. Um, I want to say I had it something like this. Yeah, I want to say it was something like this because I was looking for this area to be broken and retest to continue down. And you can see too, like I said, I was just looking at all these higher lows starting to be made. This low, this high, then this high, and this high kept getting lower and lower and lower. And then as I drag this zone across, it just pretty much retested it, continuing lower. And after you have your 2 points, as long as you have your 2 points, you can draw your trend line. And that's when it came back to a trend line to push down. And then that's when,
It's showing the what's it called?
oh,
Um,
shoot. Sorry,
okay.
keep pushing back. This was the line that I had, this purple line, is I was looking for a break in a retest, like of this area that happened before continuation. But you can see as this trend line was made, because all these lower highs were formed, you're able to make a trend line because you know you have your 2 points. So you can see the trend line just kept respecting this trend line to drop. Eventually too, we could see these lows right here. A low right there. It got lower, so now boom. This is, you have a structure right here, you have a structure right here for a continuation. So after any of these lows, you could have made one right here to take to TP2, and you could have dragged it to the next one. And then bring it right back here to TP2, TP1. Sorry, right here. And then even on this one, you can see that little green right there, all that little pressure was just letting you know that it was about to be turning, since it's a minor structure of TP2, that's what that reversal had happened. And then it did eventually come down to this trend line that I was looking for overall. That makes sense. EU, I think it was on the other one. Let's see. EU, I want to say it was pretty much the same scenario. We had hit TP2 on this higher time frame right here, and I had this zone right here from these previous highs to the left, 1, 2, 3 highs. I was broken. We broke it again right here, and then it came back to retest. It pretty much consolidated in this area. It stayed retesting the zone, and then overall, this is my structure too. Same one that I have with Ari. But in between there were little minor moves that you could take advantage of, because you remember inside of each structure, there's another structure inside of it. And then lastly, I'm gonna share my gold one, the one I took on Friday, before I go into what I'm looking for now. On Friday, like I said, sorry, I said like on Friday. As you get familiar with these charts, it starts to get a little bit easier. So one thing I've been loving lately has been trading gold on the 5 minutes. Wouldn't recommend for you guys right now, but this was just a beautiful move. This is what had me past my account. Wait, let me go to my other one. This is the one where I got on it in the morning, and then it took like 7 hours to play out, because if you guys don't know, I forgot why, but around like 2 p.m. on the weekdays, the market pauses for like an hour before it continues. It pauses for like an hour or two. But with gold, what I had saw overall for gold, why I took advantage of this 5 minute one, was because we see this overall structure right here for gold. Boom, boom, boom. Hit TP1. So now when you go to, you can see it on the 1 hour, but even right here on the 30 minute, we had all this divergence forming. So usually you do want to wait for a break and retest, but this one, I got in before the break and retest happened, because we had already hit that TP1 level. We had this high divergence forming. And then if you go into this small structure right here, looking left, you see this structure right here, this small structure. But then you can see this new structure, this high was higher than that one. And then this low was higher than this. Then on a smaller one, we still made another lower low. I mean, higher low. So it was going into this uptrend. So this one I got in a little bit late, but I got in right here at this blue circle just because it was a lot of bullish momentum that was happening. And this was my red trend line. So this is where I had to alert. Remember, every time I get in a trade, I always have just a random line like before my stop loss to alert me, just in case if it is going in the opposite direction. And I do have it too when I'm near my take profit, just to get me excited when I'm near take profit. So I have it on both ways. So with this one, I had got in right here, and then I had my fib like this, and I was gonna take it to TP2. I did pull out a little bit earlier than that, but I was also anticipating, okay, just for confirmation for it to keep going. I didn't get in again because I was already like reaching my goal. I drew this zone right here because you can see we have these highs right here. One set of highs and then another high right there, drawn to the future. You remember, like I said, if you see a high and you want to look for a continuation, you remember you just want to see these highs get broken. You want to see them get broken, and then that's when you can get in a retest of that zone to continue up. That makes sense? Same thing for your lows. If you see these lows right here and you're looking for a possibly sell, all you want to see is them lows get broken, come back for that retest. You get in on this retest right here to continue for sales. So with gold, that was just another confirmation. I'm just showing it was going up. But like I said, I got in already here, so I was already in it, and then I pulled out right here, like right in the middle, because I had already reached, I only needed like $700 more, and I wasn't even gonna risk it. I'm like, I'm not even gonna try to wait for an extra few more pips, because then if it start going back down, I would be so mad. So I just closed out right there, and then that's what had me pass my challenge. So do you guys have questions on that before I move forward on what I see for this week in the trading journal? I wasn't talking too fast, right? Okay. So since we're on gold, let's just start with gold. So right here, I'm actually so upset because I was on getting this, but I got distracted right before the call. So even for this, but I'm not actually mad because if this is going to continue, we're going to get the confirmation for it. So I just broke down where we're at in gold. So I have two trend lines. I pretty much, this is like my major trend line overall. Just holding up, this is like that structure that was already made, those highs of that previous structure. And then I have these 2 points right here of my minor structure. So there's two things I want to see right now. We can see that price just broke through this trend line right here. And you can see this zone right here. You can see, of course, we had our highs right here. This is all consolidating in this area, support and resistance. And then you can see with this support right here, we broke it. Remember, everything that's broken is retested. This is part of a 1 hour structure that was already finished. So I really want to see if price is going to come back into this zone. And I want to see if it's going to just retest the zone, or I want to see if it's also going to push up to this green trend line right here. Let me go to my marked up one. So this one, let me add. That. I like to put once per minute just to get my attention. And then once it goes off, then that's when I'll go back and change it to let me know once the candle's closed. So, like I said, I want to see. Oh, this one looks like it's retesting this trend line. This one's it's a little bit off compared to this one. Okay, those are two different points I see. Okay. So you see this one, I have these 2 points on this other chart. I have these 3 points. But it's pretty much the same thing though, to be honest. I'm gonna go back and forth between both. Because even if this one like does come up, like I said, the market just opened, it can still push up, or something else it can do. It can come back down into this pink trend line and then push up. So that's why like I like to draw like when you're in these little triangular areas, you have to be aware of which area that it's gonna go into because you're not 100% sure until you start breaking one of those trend lines. And right now, let me move this to the left. And even though we broke these minor highs and these lows, like I still have to see like what it's gonna do in between these points. Like I'm not gonna get in this until we break this trend line. And then I want to see, honestly, like, let's just say if it does break here and then retest it, then that fib will look like this. Let's just say if it comes up to this purple trend line, retest, pull back to this broken purple trend line. We could be retesting 23 or 38. I could still see it coming back up to this main trend line right here, FTP1. And then seeing what it does at that trend line, see if it's gonna break it or if it's gonna retest it to continue to fall. Does that make sense? So I want to see what it does at this trend line. If it breaks, then of course I will need to see this low being broken, pull back for a continuation, possibly even like drag this little zone over. It would have to do something like that for it to continue down. That's what I see for gold. Overall, let me see. I do see it coming back down here. So I like I said, that first scenario where I said I can see it like retesting that purple zone and then coming back up. Let me readjust this like it's the same as my other one. Like I said, I can see it coming back up to this green trend line and then pushing back down because if we look at the daily, you remember you always want to look at your big picture and the smaller picture. Never just stay on the smaller picture. Because on the daily, we have this high right here that was broken and it came back to retest. It looks it looks better on the 4 hour, to be honest. So I'm gonna make that my 4 hour. So this was an area that was broken and I retested. So I can see it coming back down here, which will lead it to TP2. It could push down too to this blue trend line, which is holding all of this up right here. And then once it gets to TP2, that's when I can see it like transitioning into that uptrend, that higher time frame uptrend. But that's why it's important too to just take it step by step instead of trying to force it. Like right now, like I'm not about to try to force anything. The only thing that I am in right now is EU. I'm gonna go into that next. Any questions on gold? Everything makes sense for the most part. Okay. And then I'm gonna upload this too. Or Lily, if you can send it to me, however you can send it to me, I'll upload it. EU, like I said, this hasn't even hit TP1. This is the overall structure right here. Hasn't hit TP1 yet, so this is the one that I'm currently in. I could see it if it retests this green trend line, as long as it stays below this high, we're still looking for sales. So even a retest of that green trend line will be another entry for EU. This one I had two trend lines. So I had one coming across from the bottom, broken retest, and then on that other chart I had a new one for when that new high was made from right there. But either way, it's still giving you the same analysis. Let's just say if you miss one, you could still draw a point right here from the bottom. Wait for this to get broken, retest, and take advantage of those quick pips. That'll be about 66 pips to take advantage of for EU. I do see it coming down here to this red zone. Because like I said, right here, looking here, these are previous highs in this area. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 highs. You guys see those highs, all those highs right there to the left. That was eventually broken. My fibs are in the way right here, but this whole little area, it broke through. So that's why I see it coming down here to TP2. And that aligns with what I see happening for the dollar. The dollar had already came all the way down to its overall end of structure down here. And we have all this RSI on the dollar coming up while it was going down, just letting us know that the dollar is going to be going up. And the same thing right here for the dollar. I have this whole red area right here. Sorry, I got a lot of markups, but you can see I've been dragging it from across here. And this was broken. This area was broken too down here. These yellows, you can see there's a low right here, lows right here. Now are broken. So this was all support to the left that was broken. So I can see that getting tested as resistance. So I can see that pushing up. And remember, this does the opposite of currencies. So I see the dollar going up, which is going to make GU and EU go down. That makes sense. So with EU, those are the ways that you can capitalize on that on that point. GU, pretty much the same thing. If you're gonna enter GU, then you have to wait for another retest of this green trend line before continuing it down. And then your overall structure will be here. I literally just grabbed that minor one, pulled it to this low. These lows are equivalent. So I can see it like staying in this area since it's at 23.6 before it pushes down to TP1. And that'll be about 74 pips. That makes sense. So that's what I see for that. I see those selling until they both reach, like I said, GU and EU both look like their TP is near this major a major trend line that's holding it up. So I can see them both getting to those major trend lines and then pushing back up, forming a higher uptrend for buys. But for now, we're taking it step by step. So I see these sales. We just need to wait for those final confirmations before entering. And they might play out overnight, London session. They may not. Either way, if you want to be up for it, be up for it. I just wait till New York session. I wait till the morning to look. So I'll be going off of whatever happens in the morning. Does that make sense? Okay, perfect. Let me get through this trading journal because I am on 8%. So let me pull this up. I am gonna drop it in the course so that you guys are able to download it. Can you guys see this? Okay. Also too, we don't have time right now, but I'm gonna do it going into this in the next call. We're gonna go over news because I do have another template that goes over news stuff for you guys to save, but that's gonna be a next call. But right now, this is gonna be you guys' trading journal. I do have a video right here. If you click start here, this breaks down everything that I'm about to go over right now. So inside of here, this is basically like giving you like a checklist. So I don't mean to have my hand raised up. I don't even know how I just did that. It's like it just saw me with my hand up and was like, so you're gonna see like your before trading, like what do you do before trading? What do you do after trading? Like you may have a routine that you want to start implementing beforehand. So that's what you'll write right there. You'll check it off. This is your back testing. So basically anything that you practice, you know how I went into replay mode? That's a good way to practice on your screen. So you'll just randomly go back into the future, hit your replay, mark up, and then see if it's playing out exactly how you analyzed it. So that's where you'll upload it right here to back testing. You'll just click it and then you'll upload a video or a picture. Now right here, this is the most important part. This is your trade journal. So each trade that you make, you can decide if you want to do this at the end of the day of your trading or at the end of the week. It depends on you. You'll put what pair you're doing right here. Then you're gonna put whether you were looking for a buy or a sell. When you click it, both of them pop up. You can switch it. You'll put your lot size, how much you're risking. You're gonna put the date right here. And then this is your confirmation checklist. So I have a few already on like what was your confirmations for entering it, and you'll add it. If you want to add something else, all you have to do is write it right here. So let's just say I don't know, retest zone. All you do is create it and boom, right there. And then you can also change the colors too of it if you want to with these three dots right there. Right here, you can do risk percentage or you can do the risk number. I'm gonna add another one right here. Because you might say like you're risking like $300 or whatever. Um, so that's when you'll just add it right there on how much you're risking. I'm gonna put another one too. You know what? I'm gonna do it after we get off. So let's just say, because this is just something you're gonna be, you're gonna be adding this as you go. There's not gonna be a standard on how much you're risking. That's just gonna be on you on how much it is. Um, So then after that, you're gonna put where your take profit is, where you're putting your take profit, any emotions you're feeling in the moment, whether it's through your day. It doesn't have to deal with trading because sometimes too, when we go through stuff in life, that does like can reflect on our trading. So this can help you like when you look back on it, say like, okay, this may have happened because of this. Okay. Um, End of the day, end of the week, you're gonna put the outcome of it, whether you broke even, you won or you lost, number of pips, and any notes you want to take. You are able to add as you go. All you gotta do is put like the plus sign. Oops. Um, why is it moving? Or this one, yeah. You just click those little dots. You can duplicate it, you can delete it. That's what you'll do right here to add or delete. Um, You're also able to change it like as a little gallery, like just a different type of formation. Um, does that make sense? Uh, it's going to be your win amount. That sounds pretty, it makes sense, right? Okay. Um, Now right here, this is gonna be your trading goals. So I have some examples in here. You can ignore this menu. We don't need this menu because like I just said, well, actually, yeah, on MetaTrader, you do need Stenu because it doesn't show you how much you're risking based on your lot sizes. Remember, how I just showed you guys on the Funded Trader, when I put it in, it shows me the amount, so I'm able to see it. On MetaTrader, it doesn't do that. So I did put this app in right here. It is for free for you to like calculate all that stuff. So when it comes to your trading rules, you do want to have some set of rules. Like, okay, if I'm having, you may not know this right now, so you may not, complete this right now, but when you are ready, when you have your funded account or your live account, you'll put how much you're willing to risk per trade. So I just gave an example right here. If you have $1,000 account, you risk 3.5%. That means you're risking $35 per trade. So this is where you're gonna have your set of rules like, okay, if I lose this amount, then that means I'm done trading for the week. If I won my goal, then that means I'm done trading for the week. Because we also don't want to overtrade or undertrade, okay? So right here you can see that there's different ones. So the risk per trade, weekly trading goals, daily trading goals if you are trading every single day. So you'll fill out whichever fits you. Like I said too, right here you don't have to put percentage. You can put or a number. Um, And then, so as you do the risk per trade, the weekly trading goals and your monthly trading goals, that's going to equivalent to your quarterly and yearly goals. So you'll be able to see like what you should be doing per quarter. Also, when you'll take a break and for how long. I do recommend like as you start getting into trading, you are going to need breaks. Like sometimes I'll take a break for a few months. But you do need a break. Everybody needs a break with this because this is like a mental thing that can wear you down. Um, like I just gave our example right here, I already said it. What's your loss percentage or number to stop? So if you lose this amount, that means you're done trading for the week. Okay. Um, and then also when will you pull out from your account? Because we don't want to be trading for nothing. Even if you make, $100, $200, you want to pull that out because you don't want to risk losing it and then feel like you're just not getting nothing out of it. So you want to make sure that you are pulling money out of it. The last thing here, this is optional if you want to, depending on like what type of person you are, visual or not. Um, so this is where, and I'm about to redo my whole thing too, because I need to get back into this as well. This is where you'll take a screenshot of like your highest probability on like what's most likely going to play out. So let's say if you see a trade, it hit TP2, there's RSI, break and retest, boom, screenshot it, dump it into the highest probability. Like this is most likely going to play out. Good probability. Remember how I just showed you that 5-minute trade I took on gold? Even though I didn't have a break and retest, that's probably what I'm gonna put in this category. But this is so you can see, because sometimes I be in my head, and this has been me lately. That's why I said I need to get back into it because I know I've seen it before, but I just don't remember what happened. So this helps me remember, okay, this had happened in the past. Most likely it's gonna happen again. So this is where you want to take a picture of those screenshots and then dump it right in here. Right here, when it comes to their trading rules, remember I always say trade what's happening. That's why I always say take everything step by step by step because you just never know what's going to happen. So always trade what you see, not what you think. And then any trading rules that you come up with yourself. For me, for when it comes to entries, remember you only need 3 to 4 quality setups per month. You don't have to take all these trades to make a good amount of money. As long as you have quality setups, like I really probably only take like maybe like two to three max a week, to get good amounts from me. You don't have to do all of this stuff every single month. And yeah, and that's it. That's the trading journal. How do you guys feel about that? I'm going to drop it to in the course.
I like it. It looks very helpful. I feel like it can be something for me to look back on as I start this journey.
Mm-hmm.
I'm expecting to make mistakes and not know everything. So this could be a
Yes.
nice, like, oh, okay, I learned this before. Nice record keeping, you know.
Yeah, and I want you guys to know, like, that happens to everybody. I show you guys too when I have my losses. Like, every trader, even like the high successful trader, everybody has losses.
Yeah, I agree. I like this because in the past when I met with you, I told you like, oh, I did this, but I couldn't remember why I did it.
Mm-hmm.
So like this would be good to like record all those things.
Yes, exactly. That's why I had just thought of it. Because like I said, even for myself, it's something that I need to start jotting down because I realized too, I've been having a lot of those moments as well. So yeah, all right. Well, I'm gonna what were you gonna say, Lily?
It's like,
Okay. Well, yeah, I'm gonna drop this in the teachable course, so you guys are gonna be able to download it for yourself. Just make sure when you download it, click duplicate. It's gonna give you an option to duplicate it, and then that's when you'll be able to do it on your own. All right, you guys good?
Yes.
All right.